young general suffers a crushing defeat in his first campaign. His army scattered, the city lost, his own life nearly taken. But just weeks later, he returns with a plan and annihilates the enemy. This wasn't luck. It was strategy, calm, calculated, even cruel. Drawn directly from the wisdom of Sun Tzu's Art of War, this is the perfect example of throw them into death ground and they will fight to survive.
In the year 618, the Tang Dynasty was newly founded, but the empire was far from secure. To the west, the powerful warlord Sherju and his son, Sher Rengao, ruled the region of Longxi. From their mountain strongholds, they threatened the Tang heartland of Guangzhong. If left unchecked, they could march straight for the capital, Chang'an. So Emperor Gaodu dispatched his son, a young general named Li Shimin, to lead the campaign. Li Shimin advanced westward and camped at Gaodu. He remained cautious, ordering strict discipline across the army. But his officers were eager for battle.
Your Highness,
said Liu Wenjing.
the enemy is unruly and overconfident. Give the order, we can crush them in a single strike.
But Li Shimin shook his head.
Our army has marched far. Supplies are thin. They're entrenched on their home ground, full of momentum. This is not the time to act.
He chose to wait, to observe, to hold. But fate had other plans. Li Shimin fell ill, so ill he could no longer command. Before withdrawing, he gave one final order to his deputies Liu Wenjing and Yin Kaishan.
Do not engage. Hold your ground. Wait for my return.
But they disobeyed. Convinced the time was right, they led the Tang army out to meet the enemy, without scouts, without precautions. They positioned their forces southwest of Gaodu, confident in their numbers, and blind to danger. That very day, Sherju launched a flanking assault from behind. The Tang army was caught off guard and routed. Gaodu fell. The campaign ended in disaster. Weeks later, Li Shimin recovered and returned to command. He said nothing, no anger, no blame. Instead, he studied the maps, the terrain, the movements of his enemy. This time, he would lead every step of the war himself. By then, Sher Rengao, the son of Shuiju, had taken over the rebel forces. He stationed his army at Qianshuiyuan, the shallow water plains, a vast open battlefield, rich in grass and water, perfect for maneuver. Li Shimin arrived and took up position across the plain. He refused to take the bait. He ordered his men to hold position and build fortifications. No attacks, no advances, just patience. In the enemy camp, Shui Rengao scoffed.
The Tang army hides in fear. Cowards!
But Li Shimin was watching. He sent scouts day and night to observe the enemy. Soon the signs became clear. Enemy patrols grew fewer. Campfires dimmed. Drums went silent. Flags drooped in disorder. The soldiers moved sluggishly. The smoke of cooking fires thinned. Their supplies were running low. Their morale was fading. Li Shimin knew his moment was near, as Sun Tzu taught.
Avoid their sharpness, strike when they are weary.
At dawn, he summoned General Pang Yu.
Lead a detachment to the front.
He ordered.
Make noise, show force, draw them out.
Pang Yu obeyed. Banners rose, war drums thundered. Sui Rengao saw what he thought was an opportunity and charged. He led his army out of camp in full force. But he had taken the bait. He never noticed the dust behind him, until it was too late. Li Shimin had personally led a cavalry unit in secret, circling wide behind the enemy. Now, with the rebels fully committed to the front, he struck from the rear. Caught between two forces, the rebel army collapsed. The shallow water plains were soaked in panic and blood. Sher Rengao fled to Jeji, his final stronghold. Li Shimin pursued, then surrounded the fortress. But he didn't seal every exit. He deliberately left a narrow path open. One officer asked,
"Why not close the gates completely, force their surrender?"
Li Shimin replied,
Cornered men fight hardest. If they see a way out, they may try to run, and we will be waiting.
Sure enough, that night the enemy tried to escape. Li Shimin's forces ambushed them and crushed the attempt. Soon after, Sui Rengao surrendered. He was brought before Li Shimin, bruised and bloodied.
You never gave me a fair fight.
He spat. Shimin answered calmly.
War is not about fairness. Victory is the only justice.
This battle wasn't just revenge, it was a masterclass in military strategy. To hold when others attack, to feint, to lure, to wait, to win not by strength, but by insight. This is the essence of Sun Tzu's 9 terrains.
In encircled ground devise, in death ground fight. Throw your men into danger and they will survive.
From this day forward, Shimin would no longer be seen as just a young general. He was on the path to becoming one of China's greatest emperors, and the Tang Dynasty had truly begun.
You're watching stories of strategy, learning Sun Tzu through legends. This is China Tales. Subscribe for more stories of ancient wisdom and strategy.